U.S. military forces have carried out airstrikes in eastern Syria, targeting infrastructure utilized by Iranian-backed militant groups. President Biden has been in office for 5 weeks. This is the first military action he has authorized.
Well, Lester, we know this was a retaliatory action. As you said, late tonight, the Pentagon making this announcement that U.S. forces carried out those airstrikes. They took place in eastern Syria. And again, these were against Iranian-backed militant groups at the direction of President Biden. The Pentagon saying the strike destroyed multiple facilities at a border control checkpoint used by those groups. Now, the Pentagon calls it a, quote, proportionate military response after the U.S. says those groups fired rockets near U.S. troops inside the green zone. And these officials add that, quote, the president will act to protect American coalition personnel.
Iyad al-Gharib was a low-ranking intelligence officer when the Arab Spring reached Syria in 2011. He later fled to Germany, where he was granted asylum, but now his past has caught up with him.
The court determined that the defendant helped seriously deprive 30 people of their liberty and helped them be subjected to systematic torture during their detention.
The court ruled that Gharib worked for a government agency which played a crucial role in suppressing pro-democracy protests against Bashar al-Assad's regime. He's been found guilty of arresting demonstrators at a rally in Douma in 2011 and delivering them to a notorious prison in Damascus.
Early on Thursday, about 1,000 marchers took to the streets of Yangon, voicing their support for the junta and its takeover of Myanmar's democratically elected leadership. They were flying the flag of the Tatmadaw, the official name here for the military. They were met by some protesting against the coup. Later photos appeared to show military supporters with knives and other weapons. Witnesses said they threatened journalists, then came reports of scuffles. An attack by supporters of Myanmar's junta against anti-coup protesters was caught on CCTV. The video shows a man being assaulted by an armed group. Despite this, anti-coup protesters gathered at the University of Yangon said they will continue with their peaceful civil disobedience movement. Initially, police attempted to block them from leaving the campus, but they made their way out to join other protesters.
Armenia's prime minister is calling for his supporters to rally for him and is warning of an attempted military coup after the army demanded his resignation. Protests and counter-protests appeared in the capital shortly afterwards on Thursday. It's not immediately clear if the army is willing to use force to make Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan resign, along with the rest of his administration, or whether it was just talk. But the leader has faced calls to quit for months over his handling of the devastating military conflict it fought with Azerbaijan last year. And the army, in a written statement, said, quote, "The serious mistakes in foreign policy have put the country on the brink of collapse."
On Sulawesi Island in the district of Perigi Motong, a familiar scene, the aftermath of another illegal mining disaster in Indonesia. Authorities believe there were 22 people here when the mine collapsed, but survivors told local media there could have been more. Military, police and the local disaster agency are working together to assist the community. Makeshift wooden frames built on unstable soil broke down during the night. First responders faced the challenge of searching for survivors in the dark. Fatalities at unauthorized mines are common in mineral-rich Indonesia, attracting thousands of unskilled laborers with no training or proper safety equipment. Experts estimate there are close to 9,000 unlicensed mines, around a quarter of them gold.
German police carried out early morning raids in 26 locations in Berlin and surrounding areas after Germany banned a radical Islamist group. Hundreds of German police officers conducted coordinated raids early on Thursday while investigating an organization which was banned over allegations of Islamic extremism. Some 850 police, including SWAT teams, were involved in the raids of apartments linked to members of the organization known as Jamaatu Berlin. The organization, whose name translates literally as the Berlin Group, was banned by Berlin's state interior minister on grounds it was a very radical group which advocated terrorist attacks.
정치 의식과 도덕 관점을 바로 세우기 위한 교양 사업과 통제를 강화해야 한다고 과업으로 내세우고 강도 높이 진행할 때 대하여 각 중앙의 용군 체계를 철저히 확립하고 전투력을 인민군대 안의 모든 당 조직들과 정치기관들에서 혁명교육망연회 본부청사에서 진행됐습니다. 조선노동당 총비서이시며 조선민주주의민통합국 국무위원장이신 교미합니다. 회의의 4대 회의에는 조선노동당 중앙군사위원회 부위원회 정치의식과 도덕 관점을 바로 세우기 위한 교양 사업과 통제를
The search is on for armed robbers who shot Lady Gaga's dog walker and stole 2 of her beloved French bulldogs. And she's offering $500,000, no questions asked.
Moments after a man was shot on Sierra Bonita Avenue, police put a French bulldog into their vehicle. We now know that dog is Miss Asia, one of Lady Gaga's beloved pets, and the only one to escape when armed thieves assaulted the singer's dog walker, Ryan Fisher. Stephen Lazaroff says Fisher, who lives in the area, was taking care of the dogs while Lady Gaga was traveling for a movie.
He's always walking the dogs, always with them, even if it's not the group of dogs, it's one-on-one time with the dogs.
Neighbors say they heard people arguing around 9:45 last night, so they came outside and saw a car in the middle of the street.